Hi, everybody, and this is my take two of my welcome for my Zoom meeting. But we're here and at the Lafayette Library. We're recording two things. One, a Zoom meeting, and also a teleclass. We're doing it all at once so that we can get the most mileage out of this and to be able to help the most people in the most ways. So basically what I want to do now that I'm also recording the Zoom meeting, which is kind of a webinar, I want to tell you about the news and information of this week about the gig economy. There are some stunning revelations about the gig economy. Folks, I'm just going to tell you straight up, this is going to affect all aspects of your life. I doubt that there's a single aspect of your life. You may not know this yet, but don't try and understand the gig economy too fast, or you will miss out on some of the aspects of your life that it will affect. And if you have a friend who's looking for work, or a kid or somebody who's not quite independent yet, or they're struggling in their life, you're in the right place, the right time, and we're going to share why a lot of the problems that you may have had, were undiscovered as being part of the big shift toward the gig economy. So we're here to help you to understand that. And if you go to Gig Entrepreneurs, you start to scroll down, then you'll see that we're building a community, a collective of collaborators, if you will, helping each other, creating a group of friends in commerce. We'd like you to join our Meetup group. And right now, by using small Meetup, what we call feeder meetings, we do two things. One, we create larger groups, such as our Meetup organization has 73,497 members. It's growing every 20 minutes, 24/7, 365. So we want you to join us. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see where you can sign in and join us and become even a charter member of the Gig Economy Users Group. And you can sign up for the Gig Economy Minute, because we curate the gig economy so you don't have to. So you can log in, you can see the hottest topics of the gig economy, and you can learn what's going on in this hot new economy and why you should join it. So it starts under hot topics. The very first story is about the Federal Reserve. So I cannot tell you how important of a change this is. Even the Federal Reserve is saying that the gig economy is a structural change. This is the Federal Reserve Bank. This is a structural change. We need to change our structures as an institution to meet that change so that the workforce stays employable. So this is the future of wealth and work now in the new economy. We're here for you, and we want to help you to better understand it. So let me just think if that's kind of the, then here's the other big news. So that's one thing, gigeconomies.com. But we've been helping jobs ministries for job seekers who are maybe looking for work, recently laid off or downsized for one reason or another, or maybe they've been struggling for a while, been looking for work and haven't been able to find it. They may find the answers for why they haven't been able to find it right here at gigentrepreneurs.com. But in helping the jobs ministries, I see that there is quite a distinction. It's like a two-sided coin. One side are job seekers, and the other side of the coin are gig seekers. And gigs are just jobs. They're little freelance 1099 work, freelancer work, getting paid to offer a service to a person or a company, or rent your car like a taxi with Uber or Lyft, or rent out a part of your home in Airbnb, or work at Upwork, or post your service, I should say, on Upwork or Fiverr or something like that. Everything is covered. But what we're doing, folks, if you don't have a gig, you still need to learn what this gig economy is about. And I don't want to make the argument that you do. I believe that any reasonable person who goes to gigentrepreneurs.com and starts to read the articles, news from academia, from the institutions like the Federal Reserve, from major media, Forbes, Wall Street Journal, you name them, if you read this news and you're not convinced that you've got to learn the gig economy to protect your own future income, your own wealth, I will be very surprised. But, this will separate, the growth mindset people from the fixed mindset people. I believe that it's not a matter of if you're going to recognize you're already part of the gig economy. It's just a matter of time. So what I'm doing is we're also starting a course to certify people who like to be a life coach, a business coach, to learn the gig economy. We've got the gig economy users groups that we can create certified coaches about the gig economy. So if you, one way you can earn while you learn is to join us and join our free webinars and teleclasses and start to learn the gig economy and learn why you should become on your way to becoming more familiar with it, how to use it. And then even if you'd like, if you don't have a gig, one gig is that you can become a certified coach and start to coach people, businesses, friends, job seekers, everybody about the gig economy and help them to make the transition. So there's going to be more on that. But the whole thing starts at gigentrepreneurs.com. Now, that being said, let me bring in my sidekick and cohort, Kelly Cavsby. Kelly, welcome.
Hello.
And we're going to share some of this week's news together. So what Kelly and I want to do is to bring gig entrepreneurs, bring the gig economy to life for you. And Kelly, I'll start with this first article here. And then what we want to do is we want to provide, I'll bring this mic over here a little bit closer. We want to provide news, commentary, and advice about the gig economy. So if you scroll down, you'll scroll down to a big headline. You'll see hottest topics. And then if you keep scrolling down, you'll get down to, let's see, where is it right here? Big breaking news this week. That'll teach you how to, use the term carpe diem, seize the day, enjoy yourself while you still have the chance. So let me start with what the Fed has to say here. Now, this is from the Federal Reserve Bank, folks. So it says, we're in a period where there's a lot of turmoil in the markets. People are seeing the accelerated pace at which the economy is changing. They're seeing new jobs appear and old jobs disappear in ways that are making them nervous. What we are doing through this workforce development effort is really starting to think at a broad institutional level. We are creating opportunities and vehicles for people to keep pace with the change, independent of what we are in the business cycle. It may have more urgency when more people are out of work, but it's a structural change. It has to get us to think, do we need to change our structure as an institution to meet that change so that the workforce stays employable? Now, Kelly, you had a little comment on that at first. Do you want to kind of repeat that?
Well, my comment was just about the unemployment rate and how they measure the unemployment rate and the fact that after 2 years, people are no longer measured as being part of it because they are, quote unquote, no longer looking for work. But my comment was that I don't think that's really true. They're just not counted anymore. So sometimes the unemployment rate may be a little bit skewed about what it shows and what there is. But there's also, as we know, certain industries that are still hurting for workers that need people. And we see more of the short-term credentials happening, more of the community colleges doing 6 months up to 2 years, where the manufacturers or the employers are reaching out to them to create curriculum so they can have a workforce that is ready for them on a quicker pace. In the tradition, we would go to college and then you'd come out 4 years later, but things are changing so quickly now. By the time you come out 4 years later, that may not be in demand anymore.
Now, Kelly's background had been working with job seekers in the county of Contra Costa in California to help people seek traditional work. but she's here joining me because, like me, she also sees there's been a huge sea change in the economy, and you need to open up your eyes and take another look at it. So now this is kind of small print. I've got my specs on, Kelly, so I'll go ahead and read this. This is a gig economy commentary from major media, and this is from Fortune magazine. It says, the state wants universal benefits to gig workers. Here's a quote from a lawmaker in Washington State. As a lawmaker in the State House of Representatives, I'm working to solidify Washington as a model for ensuring that jobs are created by innovative firms are good ones. Some predict will change the way Americans work. New application-based platforms are deploying armies of workers to perform services ranging from on-demand taxis and home cleaning to meal delivery and childcare. Most of these gig economy workers are not employees of the company that signs their paychecks. Instead, they are classified as independent contractors, a status that by law means a worker is self-employed. So if you're in the gig economy, you are, in fact, an entrepreneur. But what I wanted to comment on, people are kind of afraid about their health care and about benefits, and I wanted them to see that these are things that are coming. This is a brand new deal. This is the Gig Economy Minute. So these are minute-long stories that you can read at gigentrepreneurs.com. Then you can click on the button if you want to read more. But here's a TV story from my local hometown, Detroit, Michigan. Can you read that story for us?
Okay, our editorial, Keep Out Welcome Map. The internet has made the world a much smaller place, with strangers able to connect instantly through apps when they need a ride or a place to stay. While there are growing pains in the new sharing economy, the benefits outweigh the negatives.
Now, this is from the Detroit News. So they're saying keep out the welcome map for the gig economy because there are things that are changing. There are things, there's going to be problems, and there's going to be many, many opportunities as well. For example, the next story, what it takes to build a company that you can sell for a cool $1 billion. And this is according to the guy who did it. So you can check in on that story, learn more there. Now, this story here, Kelly, this may be more about your background a little bit and some of the resources that are available for job seekers. But it says 78% of recruiters view gig economy as friend, not foe. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Okay, well, it says, 1,000 recruiters were asked via live polling whether they view the gig economy as friend or foe. 78% chose friend and 22% chose foe, including that most recruiters are keen to embrace the opportunities presented by the growing contingent workforce, Bullhorn has revealed.
What does that say to you?
I think it says it gives them a little more freedom in that if you already have something else going on the side, it doesn't put all of your eggs in one basket, as it were. So everything is not contingent upon that job providing everything for you because you also have that freedom of having another income stream, which gives you a little bit more flexibility on your end and also on their end as well.
Now, I've read more on this story. So also the other thing that this talks about is recruiters, traditional job recruiters. So are you, if anybody is thinking, well, will this hurt my chances of getting a job if, I'm looking for a recruiter, I'm, pursuing the gig economy either on the side or full time. So what it's also saying is that the people who are job recruiters are using the gig economy. They're searching for, new employees in the gig economy. So this really is very, very important stuff. Now, Financial Times talk about being in the elevator going up. It says the Financial Times says the gig or sharing economy is expected to grow by $14 billion for 2014 to $335 in 2025. $335 billion by 2025. I mean, that's pretty rapid growth. And that's about NASDAQ. So that's from NASDAQ. Now, here's a story. You want to read this story about Walmart.
Walmart expects surge in online sales as its digital strategy ramps up. The world's largest retailer is holding its annual investment community in terms of online and last mile delivery, and the gig economy and store associates will play a significant role going forward. Mark Lohr, president and CEO of Walmart's U.S. e-commerce business, offered more insight into Walmart's long-tail online strategy, which includes offering unmatched prices, assortment, and experiences. Laura also touted Walmart's prospects for accomplishing same-day and 2-hour delivery. Walmart has a set of assets that can't be matched anywhere, he said, referring to Walmart's network of physical stores, which now also function in a warehouse capacity.
Okay, now here's what I'd like to do for the rest of this particular cast, if you will, is kind of just talk about the big picture here a little bit. So now here we've heard from Walmart, from major media. I mean, there's nobody out there that is not trying to give you the heads up that things have shifted. So if you go to gigentrepreneurs.com and click on any one of these stories, you have two options. One, it'll allow you then to sign up for ongoing updates and information, and you can learn at your own pace, self-paced learning. We're going to try and shorten these podcasts. We're going to try and keep them around 20 minutes, short and sweet, because you can get so much information at gigentrepreneurs.com. You can sign up for ongoing updates and information and courses and classes and networking and meetups. And really, we're trying to bring everything together into the gig economy users group, create collaborations with friends in commerce. So everything that you need and want, wherever you are, if you're a coach, a life coach, a job seeker, an entrepreneur, small business looking to get new clients, you can find help and resources at gigentrepreneurs.com. So what I'd like to do also is to invite you guys to stay tuned to learn more about how you can, over time at your own pace, even learn how to become a certified gig economy coach. Because so many people are, struggling to understand how, this change is like going from the agricultural economy to the industrial revolution. I mean, that's how big it is. And this is not me talking, folks. This is everybody who knows anything about anything in the world. And it's a global phenomenon. So we're also trying to give you world views from London and Australia and Asia, because they've been at it a lot longer than the gig economy has been exploding here. So you can kind of get a little future look of some of the things that they've run into, the good and the bad, things to overcome or things that need to be changed, by looking at what they have seen, because the gig economy is a little more mature there than it is here in America. So I don't think there's anybody, Kelly, that we can't help one way or the other. If it's learning how to improve their lifestyle, get more freedom in their life, if it's if they're searching for a job or they want to work for a startup, these are also the hottest startups, the ones that are involved in the gig economy. So if you want to be an employee but work for a startup in the gig economy, this is the right place to be. So any thoughts and recommendations that you would like to suggest to anybody that you think could benefit from knowing more about the gig economy?
I just think that, it's here to stay, as you said. I mean, it's not going away. It's part of our vernacular. I mean, just think, there's no one in the country that hasn't heard of Uber or Lyft or some of these other things that are traditionally associated with the gig economy. It seems kind of weird to say traditional with gig, because it seems like such a new concept, but it's not. And I just think if everyone has a chance to connect with something they have a passion for, and if they could find out a way to do that and connect their passion with something that also brings them wealth and happiness and peace of mind, then that's absolutely the way to go. And I mean, there's no downside to finding something that makes you happy in the meantime of looking for something.
Kelly Cavsbeek, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Now, if you want to understand me, I'm Mike Hayes. I'm easy to understand. I'm very much like the gig economy. I'm far from perfect, and I'm not going anywhere. So I'm going to be here week in and week out. We're going to help you sort through this stuff. We're going to bring you along at your own pace, wherever you are. If you're an entrepreneur, small business, an entrepreneur, a job seeker, wherever you are, we want to be here for you as your friend in commerce. And we were doing double duty today, recording a teleclass using freeconferencecall.com and a webinar using Zoom. But it all comes down to gigentrepreneurs.com. Thanks for joining us. Talk to you next week. Bye.